The World Economic Forum, an international non-governmental organization, lacks the practical power wielded by entities like the IMF, World Bank, or World Trade Organization. Nevertheless, it annually draws influential figures such as economists, policymakers, business leaders, celebrities, religious figures, journalists, and politicians to its summit in Davos, a Swiss skiing town. Despite lacking a clear international mandate, the reasons behind the prominent attendance at this event, marred by controversy since its inception, can be puzzling. The World Economic Forum itself has not effectively addressed these controversies, often exacerbating them by promoting ideas in a manner that is intentionally provocative, misleading, and counterproductive. Consequently, discussions surrounding the true role of the World Economic Forum are frequently dominated by critics who perceive its actions as inherently malevolent, portraying Davos as a gathering of supervillains plotting world domination. When an obscure organization convenes the world's most influential individuals in a secluded mountain retreat to discuss crucial aspects of the global economy using buzzwords like the Great Reset, it's understandable why concerns about the organization's influence arise. Although it might be more captivating to entertain notions of lizard people and world domination, the sobering reality is often less sensational yet potentially more concerning. To delve into this complex topic, it's crucial to address several key questions. How did the World Economic Forum attain its current level of power and influence? What is the purported role of the organization? Lastly, what are the genuine issues with the WEF that tend to be overshadowed by the more sensationalistic conspiracies? The democratizing effect of new technology has the potential to level the playing field, allowing talented individuals to innovate rapidly with free or inexpensive digital tools. However, this technological progress also exposes vulnerabilities as malicious actors exploit it to sell access to stolen information, including phone numbers, home addresses, and private emails to the highest bidder. The WEF is often mentioned alongside other prominent international organizations such as the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the World Trade Organization, and the United Nations. While these entities share similarities in engaging with macroeconomic, geopolitical, and social issues globally, their roles may not be immediately transparent. Despite commonalities, they all conduct independent economic research, offer advice to policymakers, employ numerous economists, and operate as impartial mediators between national governments. Distinguishing itself from these organizations, the WEF stands out in its origins and funding structure. Unlike entities like the World Bank, which emerged from a coalition of 44 countries post-World War II and is supported by contributions from 189 member countries, the World Economic Forum was not created by governments and does not rely on government funding. Instead, it was established by Klaus Schwab, an engineer and business professor, initially as the European Management Forum. Schwab secured a grant from the European Commission to organize a conference inviting Western European business executives to Davos. The aim was to expose them to management practices employed by successful American companies. In its early days, the forum resembled typical management seminars seen today, lacking the scale and global influence it later acquired. Unlike the World Bank, the World Economic Forum does not have a mandate focused on funding developing economies, but has evolved into a platform for global leaders, policymakers, and business figures to discuss a wide range of issues. Over time, the annual conferences hosted by the WEF evolved from their initial focus on management practices to encompass global macroeconomic concerns and the policymakers who could implement them. Given that many politicians and policymakers lack an economic background, platforms like the Davos Conference provide an opportunity for decision makers to learn from economists worldwide, facilitating the exchange of successful strategies and lessons from different countries. The potential positive impact of such conferences lies in sharing technological and economic know-how, allowing nations to accelerate development. However, the key lies in how these platforms operate in reality. The WEF, despite labeling its annual summit as a series of meetings rather than a conference, engages in various activities beyond its well-known event. It funds and publishes economic research, advocates for initiatives like the Trillion Tree Campaign, and recognizes individuals with positive global impacts through awards. Funding for these endeavors comes primarily from businesses, not governments. While the WEF claims independence, a significant challenge arises from its extensive list of corporate partners, comprising major international corporations from various industries worldwide. These partnerships, necessitated by the organization's need for funding, raise concerns about its ability to genuinely foster an intellectual community for unbiased idea exchange. Despite its focus on sustainable capitalism, environmentalism, renewable energy, and social entrepreneurship, the forum's dependence on corporate sponsorship prompts questions about its ability to advocate for positions that may conflict with the interest of its sponsoring companies. This situation parallels the need for organizations, even on a smaller scale, to consider potential conflicts of interest when accepting sponsorships. The World Economic Forum's discussions on topics like transitioning away from fossil fuels, while sponsored by major energy corporations, raise questions about the effectiveness of its advocacy. It prompts speculation about whether the forum's commitment to making positive global changes is genuine, or if corporate support is driven by reasons beyond advancing the causes it champions. Critics often highlight blatant hypocrisy among attendees at WEF meetings, questioning the credibility of initiatives such as green economy and sustainable capitalism when influential individuals arrive via private jets to discuss them. Despite being well funded, the Davos event requires substantial security spending by the Swiss government every year, raising concerns about the allocation of resources. Moreover, skepticism arises regarding the motivations behind companies paying hefty fees to attend Davos. While many discussions and panels are available online for free, the substantial cost suggests that the true draw of the networking opportunities and closed-door discussions not accessible to the public. Attendees, predominantly from privileged backgrounds, may view the event as a lucrative opportunity for high-stakes networking and deal-making. Criticism of the WEF intensifies due to the perceived exclusivity of the Davos meetings, creating a sense of resentment among those not invited. The barriers to entry and the frequent attendance of the same individuals over time contribute to the perception of a privileged Davos family. While the WEF could potentially lower these barriers for broader participation, the interest of major partners who seek a platform for lobbying rather than discussions on working-class challenges prevent such changes. Addressing concerns about transparency and inclusivity, the WEF takes a different approach, exemplified by its choice of annual themes. The Great Reset from a few years ago, for instance, was criticized for its vague communication and being perceived as clickbait for the global elite. Despite being presented as an opportunity to discuss rebuilding the global economy after the pandemic, the WEF's execution of explaining the concept was deemed inadequate. Overall, criticisms of the WEF and Davos meetings range from concerns about hypocrisy and resource allocation to issues of exclusivity and the perceived disconnect between the elite, attendees, and the broader population. The choice of themes and the organization's communication strategies have also contributed to skepticism and conspiracy theories surrounding its true intentions. Rather than providing a clear explanation, the WEF chose to intensify its approach, presenting something that, without context, appears unsettling. This involved issuing press releases about unconventional ideas like consuming insects and embracing a lifestyle of owning nothing, often featuring a divisive, unelected world leader. The individuals organizing and participating in these events are undoubtedly intelligent, especially politicians who have honed their careers by understanding public sentiments. However, the concept of the Great Reset was evidently not something that would resonate well with the general public. This raises questions about whether those involved were out of touch, thinking such ideas would appeal to ordinary people, or if they felt so secure in their positions that public perception didn't matter. In reality, Davos has transformed from a mundane conference into a crucial networking event on the calendar, offering a platform for direct communication between businesses and politicians outside of official channels. Contrary to sensationalized notions of a secretive mountain lair where lizard people plan global changes, the truth is arguably worse. Davos is a highly publicized event that doesn't make much effort to conceal its proceedings, almost defiantly playing into the concerns people harbor about the actions of their elected and unelected leaders on that mountain each year. Well, that's it for today. Hey, make sure that you like our video and share your views in the comments section with us. Also, subscribe to our channel so you stay in the loop with us, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.